Art is science. I will be a perfectionist, a researcher, a trainer, a master. Michael Jackson, the greatest pop star of all time. It's always been frustrating to me that so many people come into music thinking it should be easy, then get frustrated when it's not, making the mistake of blaming some mystical force like gatekeepers or market saturation, thus giving birth to all the bitching and complaining about said market saturation. This leads to the problem being compounded for the people who actually want to do music for the right reasons. And no matter what any clickbaity video tells you, here's the truth. It requires effort, dedication, perseverance, and planning. If that turns you off, click off this video right now. It's a tough journey, like a trek through a dense jungle. Now, here's the catch. The crybabies whining about saturation think they can't get through the jungle because of ghosts and spirits, which don't exist except in their mind. And the clickbaiters made it out of the jungle with sheer dumb luck and want to sell you on the idea of fast traveling through the jungle, which is not possible unless your level is high enough to use the fast travel in the first place. I'm someone who makes thousands of dollars a month doing music production via methods like beat sales, publishing, ad revenue, syncs, brand deals, and kit sales, just to name a few. Now, here's the truth. 1, you are already in the jungle. Complaining is not going to get you out. 2, fast travel does not work unless your level is high enough to use it. 3, you should not bet on dumb luck. To get through the jungle, you need 1, a map, and 2, some good trekking boots. That's what I want to give you in this video, a map and some good hiking gear. I want to prepare you for the proverbial journey so that you have the best chance of making it through this metaphorical jungle. The jungle analogy is weird, I know, so let's try one that makes more sense. It's more likely that you become a physician than a career musician. Not because music is necessarily a more difficult path, though I was pre-med on track for med school at an Ivy League institution, and I can tell you that music production and preparation for med school compare in difficulty much more than you think. But no, it's because most people don't view music as an endeavor that requires focused effort to be successful. Successes in music are attributed to luck or talent instead of work and effort. But here's the truth. Music as a career is not for the weak. If you understood the time, effort, and sacrifice it took, your point of view would change dramatically. Back to our analogy, someone who cannot become a doctor because they keep failing the board exams does so because they don't understand the material on a fundamental level. Why don't we use the same line of thinking in music? So with that analogy in mind, picture me as a 4th year med student. You are a wide-eyed newbie first year who doesn't have a clue what's going on and is about to get wrecked. I want to give you my study guides, tell you what classes to take, and let you know what pitfalls to avoid. It doesn't guarantee that you'll pass at all, but it will sure as hell increase your odds. And as I hand you this guide, my friend, I want to tell you a secret that no other teacher or upperclassman is gonna let you in on. There is no luck. That's the truth. And natural born talent only gets you so far. Even a pre-teenaged Michael Jackson knew that he had to approach his future success with seriousness. In a documentary, his estate legal advisor reveals this seriousness while reading notes that MJ wrote as a child.
This is dated November 6, 1979. He was on the road with his brothers on the Destiny tour. MJ will be my new name. No more Michael Jackson. I want a whole new character, a whole new look. I should be a totally different person. People should never think of me as the kid who sang ABC, I Want You Back. I should be a new, incredible actor, singer, dancer that will shock the world. I will do no interviews. I will be magic. I will be a perfectionist, a researcher, a trainer, a master. I will be better than every great actor roped in one. I must have the most incredible training system to dig and dig and dig until I find. I will study and look back on the whole world of entertainment and perfect it. Take it steps further from where the greatest left off.
I don't think any pop star in the last century had more natural born talent than MJ. Yet, even as a child, he knew that he needed to be, quote unquote, a researcher, a trainer, and a master. Need I say more? Learn, connect, dominate. Discipline. Discipline. Like really understand the word of discipline. DeMar DeRozan, multi-time NBA All-Star. 3 words from MJ's prepubescent manifesto stuck out to me. Research, trainer, master. These are things that MJ knew he had to become. A prospective lawyer will not progress if they don't research the material. They will not get far if they don't train their persuasion, arguments, and debating skills. And they certainly won't master anything if they don't research or train. Hopefully that's clear by now, but leave me a comment if it's not and I'll try my best to explain. Similarly, a would-be music producer will not grow if they don't research how to make good music. They will not be competitive if they never train things like melody making and mixing, and they certainly will not master anything if they don't train or research. We must become humble students if we hope to progress our music production careers. The question isn't, should we take an academic approach to music production? If it is for you, you've gone too far watching the wrong YouTube video, my friend. The real question is, how do we take the best academic approach to music production? The answer, we learn, we connect, we dominate. Learning, the research. If you do not learn, you cannot become valuable. If you do not become valuable, then no one is going to want to connect with you. And if no one connects with you, you will never dominate. Learning is the foundation of the academic approach to being a music producer. Here is a long list of things we must be willing to learn at depth. Melody making, which we covered very deeply in last week's video essay, drum programming, mixing, writing, which is very important. You've got to be able to communicate your skills in various languages, including music and actual language, whatever you happen to speak. Basic marketing and sales, content creation, A&R, video editing, photo editing, web design. It takes effort on our part to develop these skills to a point where we can create value in the market. NBA All-Star DeMar DeRozan states it perfectly.
The biggest advice you can give a young guy: discipline. Discipline. Like, really understanding the word of discipline and sticking to it. Like, that's like, if you really understand that, you'll be fine. Most of these guys don't have discipline. They feel like they do enough. They'll make excuses. They'll be like, no. Being disciplined. Set a goal, be disciplined to that goal.
Make it sound so easy.
I know. Shit hard. This shit definitely
really hard.
So why wouldn't we approach our production careers with the vigor of a young prospect trying to make a name for themselves in the NBA? If you're turned off by that idea, look no further for the cause of your lacking progress. A medical student that does not want to study anatomy and physiology will never become a doctor. A producer who cannot learn basic, important skills will never get far. We must approach this as a physicist would their field. We must be researchers, as MJ said. This requires a necessary amount of commitment. Similar to a prospective doctor, we accept that anything worth having is worth working hard for. Connection, the training. Connection comes after you've established an amount of internal value through learning. Success in all of its various forms, whether it be money, fame, recognition, accolades, valuable relationships, or social media growth, flows towards value. When you connect, you need to have something to give. Creating value is the only way to make money, which we discussed in this video essay here. It's simple karma. New producers often complain about no one wanting to work with them. What they are really saying is, I am too lazy to figure out how to make working with me beneficial for everyone involved. Of course, we want to work with more artists and producers, but we have to ask, what are they getting out of the deal? What do I bring to the table so that it's a fair trade? How can I give more than I am getting, ensuring that they come back to me later? This is where the training happens. You are putting your learning into practice to see what works. You'll know your learning is increasing your value if people want to connect with you. Connection comes in many forms: likes and shares on your content, people joining your email list, producer and artist collaborations, sales on the valuable products you create like beats and kits, and comments in general on the quality of your music and art. The depth of your training will increase as you connect, because the more you give, the more you get. And the more you get, the better you become. And this leads to domination. Domination, the mastery. Domination comes through confidence. It's a result of getting better and your awareness of your betterness. You may not be a quote-unquote master yet, but you'll basically be a Jedi master compared to where you were when you started as a noob. Very important to note, this is not arrogance or pride in being better than anyone else. It's an excitement about how much you've improved. When you notice this, you can be sure that the marketplace will too. This indicates that you can dominate your current level and then move up to the next one. So let's talk about how you'll do that using the music producer skill tree and stat maxing it. The music producer skill tree. What prevents people from learning is not the subject itself. The human mind has limitless capabilities, but rather certain learning disabilities that tend to fester and grow in our minds as we get older. Robert Greene, best-selling author. The music producer skill tree has 3 main branches which we've discussed at depth up to this point. Learn, connect, dominate. We've covered what each branch is and what their individual importance is. So now let's discuss stat development at each branch. The first stat is goals, which is related to the learning branch. This is the most important skill. Just like none of the other branches matter if you learn nothing, none of these other skills can be unlocked without setting goals. This means that you don't just learn haphazardly. You set a goal for what you want to learn and you understand why you want to learn it. Saying you want to be the best is not a goal. That is an idea. A goal is something you can tangibly achieve by creating a plan. Here are a list of things that are goals. Learning basic chord theory in 6 months, improving mixing quality by the end of the year, getting your YouTube channel monetized, posting 1 beat tape per month for the next 2 years, gaining 1,000 followers across all social media by the end of the year, getting your first beat or kit sale, getting your first mixing client. Here are things that are not goals. Wanting to be the best producer ever, wanting to make $1 million, wanting to get placements with Lil Baby and Travis Scott, blowing up on social media. Real goals have clearly defined parameters and they are things that you can make a plan for. I can plan out how I'm gonna get monetized on YouTube in the next year. I cannot plan out how I'm gonna get a Lil Baby placement. I can plan out how I'm gonna make my beats more attractive to artists. I cannot figure out if artists will respond to my cold DM spam. For further clarity, let's use my career as an example. Now, keep in mind that I'm a solo act that does everything in-house. The primary goal I had when I started my career was growing my personal brand so that I could work directly with established artists. This was always my thought process. I knew that it'd be far more likely that I build an attractive producer brand than getting a lucky first placement that was big enough to attract more placements, because 1 placement is not enough to quit your day job, getting signed, joining some random producer group, or getting enough placements to live on publishing alone. Based on my goal, I determined that the skills I needed were melody making, sampling, mixing, networking, self-discipline, which involved patience, emotional control, and physical fitness, writing, public speaking, A&R, and basic sales and marketing. Then I began my learning, or my research. Once I had built a decent amount of skill through honest practice, I moved on to the next branch. Keep in mind, I still develop the learning and goals area of the skill tree. This never stops because you continue to level up, and every time you level up, you've got to go back and build the levels for each branch and each skill and each of the branching skills from those. It's a never-ending game. Stat number 2 is growth, which is related to the connection branch. A solid set of goals unlocks the rest of the skill tree, growth and glow. It's best to flow from the learn to the connection branch into the growth skill. This is where you're going to get feedback. You're going to find out if what you're learning is worth a damn at all. There are 3 important sub-branches on the growth skill: childlike eagerness and humility, the desire to listen to problems and helpful suggestions, and a willingness to serve. There is no way to grow your learned skills without the humility of a child, and you can forget about learning at all if you aren't eager like a child. Robert Greene captures this perfectly in his book, The Mastery. What prevents people from learning is not the subject itself. The human mind has limitless capabilities, but rather certain learning disabilities that tend to fester and grow in our minds as we get older. If we feel like we know something, our mind is closed off to other possibilities. For that purpose, you must try to revert to a childlike feeling of inferiority, the feeling that others know more than you and that you are dependent upon them to learn and safely navigate your apprenticeship. Listening is crucial because 1, you need to find out if your skills solve problems, otherwise they are not valuable. 2, you need to be open to feedback, but the caveat is that you need to be able to filter good feedback from useless feedback. Service is a fundamental, non-negotiable requirement. It's okay to want money or fame. Actually, it's great. Use that as something to motivate you towards being of service. The more people you serve overall, the more success will come your way. Remember, success flows towards value. Service tailored to solve a specific problem is highly valuable. Let's continue the example from earlier, using myself as a case study. Once I felt comfortable in my skill, I started posting beats online for free use. Rappers needed good beats, and low-tier producers were taxing for trash. I saw a problem, and I moved to solve it. Pro tip, this problem is even worse now, so there's still space for you to make moves here. And making this move allowed me to connect with rappers and get direct feedback. When I was just giving out beats for free, the sale was whether they used it or not. And if they didn't use it, I always asked why. Their feedback helped me improve my production overall. And this got me to where I could actually sell the beats for money, which led to sales and then eventually placements. This was proof that my skills were worth a damn. Then I doubled down on service, focusing my attention on the producer community. I made lessons on the techniques that helped me get better and then posted them on YouTube for free. This allowed me to connect with and serve thousands of producers and did the double duty of helping me grow my brand even more. Then I made kits with sounds that I knew were good because they were helping me get sales and placements. And then I gave those away for free too, like in the 14 drum kit. And then once I knew my kits were solid, like when 14 got over 10,000 downloads, I made more quality versions to sell to producers who wanted my exact sounds, mixer presets, and private lessons, which all come together in the Centerfold drum kit bundle. All of this led to massive brand growth. And the better I get, the more people I can help. The more people I help, the bigger I grow. And the bigger I grow, the more established are the artists that I am able to reach, which remember was the goal. Skill number 3 is glow, which is related to the domination branch. This is essentially where you pour on the gas. That's done through marketing yourself because you have results. Goals times learning plus connection times growth equals results. Multiple instances of results leads to confidence. Confidence over time leads to domination. When you are more confident, you essentially let your nuts or ovaries, shout out Jew, hang. This works best when part of your learning was based on mastering the fundamentals of marketing. That's why there's an arrow going straight from gold to glow. Your goals should assume success and future domination. The key here is to repeat successful results. Remember, multiple instances of good results leads to confidence. When you find something that works, stick with it no matter what. Every popular creative is known for a few key traits. None are jacks of all trades. If you're getting 4 likes on every post and then suddenly you get 20 on one, you need to examine that very deeply. And then you need to run it into the ground. Figure out if that leads to your thing, your sound, your style, whatever. As long as it's helping you grow and it's valuable, keep doing it. Yes, a small group of people will grieve you for doing the same thing over and over again, but they do the same thing to people like Kanye, Jay-Z, and Beyonce, so that's a good camp to be in. And remember, we are not marketing to drive by haters. We are creating value for our repeat customers, and we do this through the repetition of ideas related to a niche set of topics which will help them solve problems in their actual lives, whether that be related to a need for entertainment, inspiration, or education. That's why I have multiple placements with the same few artists like Dizzy 8 or Yanga Chief. And that's why my content usually covers a narrow range of topics like melodies or mixing. This is something I wish I had understood years ago because it would have saved me from wasting a bunch of energy doing shit that wasn't helping me grow or reach people. Now that I know better, I'm not interested in spreading myself thin for the sake of it. The market will let me know which of my works are the most valuable. Then it's up to me to keep feeding them what they want so they keep getting value. Set goals, my friend. Figure out what you need to learn to achieve those goals. Test your learned skills. If they cause people to connect with you, then you're on the right track. And when you find something that works, stick with it. Learn, connect, dominate. Check out the description below for a bunch of free stuff, including a course that I made for you on how you can build a brand like me. There's also the free 14 drum kit, which has a lot of sounds from my placements. And then if you want a deeper immersion into my brand, there's also the Centerfold drum kit, which is the best trap drum kit on the internet that's not called the 14 drum kit. You can check out the landing page for that because it'll do a better job of explaining it than I could. And there's a bunch of reviews backing up all the hot shit that I talk about it. There's also just so much more free stuff down there for you that I made because I fuck with you. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.